Welcome back, warrior. We are reading Judges chapter 14. Very sad story today. Samson slays a young lion with his bare hands. He marries a Philistine wife, propounds a riddle, is deceived by his wife, and slays 30 Philistines. Sometimes it makes me sad about these stories, because if Samson can come down and make mistakes, so can anyone, right? Okay. So our verse 1 says, and Samson went down to Timnath, and saw a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines. And he came up and told his father and his mother, and said, I have seen a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines. Now therefore get her for me to wife. As if she's some kind of thing you can shop for, Then his father and his mother said unto him, Is there never a woman among the daughters of thy brethren, or among all my people, that thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistines? And Samson said unto his father, Get her for me, for she pleaseth me well. So his focus was on his desires at the moment. And those unfettered desires will later bring sorrow, right? Sister Ann M. Dibb says, as Samson grew, he looked more to the world's temptations than to God's direction. He made choices because they pleaseth him well, rather than because those choices were right. Repeatedly, the scriptures use the phrase, and he went down, as they tell of Samson's journeys, actions, and choices. Instead of arising and shining forth to fulfill his great potential, Samson was overcome by the world, lost his God-given power, and died a tragic early death. End quote. Sister Ann M. Dibb, Arise and Shine Forth, April 2012 General Conference. And then President George Buchanan said this, You remember Samson, a mighty man in some respects, a man whom God raised up to redeem his people. But he married strange women. He married a woman of the Philistines, and the result was that it brought about his destruction. End quote. President George Buchanan, Journal of Discourses, Volume 12. It's actually really sad, because as a woman, it would make me sad if my son did that, or I should say as a mom. And then also as a woman, it's like, don't do that to your husband. Like, why would you want to bring him down, right? Okay, verse 4, but his father and his mother knew not that it was of the Lord that he sought an occasion against the Philistines. For at this time, the Philistines had dominion over Israel. So they had power over Israel. So this scripture could be used to justify Samson's choice in a Philistine's wife. Therefore, we could use it to justify things that pleaseth us well, right? Rather than making a choice because it's good. This is what the Old Testament Seminary Teacher Manual says about this verse. This, quote, this statement does not mean that the Lord approved of Samson's marriage to a Philistine woman. The Lord had expressly forbidden the Israelites from marrying outside the covenant. Nevertheless, the Lord used this marriage, even though it was contrary to his will, to further his purposes in delivering Israel from Philistine bondage. End quote. The Old Testament Seminary Teacher Manual, Lesson 78. Because the Lord knows things don't happen to him, they happen for him. And so I think when you take advantage of other people's poor choices, you can turn them to your advantage depending on how you see life and you see things, right? If we think everything happens to us, for us, we are a victim of everything, right? Or we can take advantage of all opportunities that come before us, and we say things happen to us, things happen for us. Then we're able to take those experiences and work them with the Lord and turn them to our good. And that is a lot of what betrayal trauma is working what happened to us and turning it, working with the Lord to turn it into a this happened for us situation. It takes a while and a lot of back and forths. But I think that once you're able to pass that stage, then you're able to see things as they really are. Verse 5, then went Samson down and his father and his mother to Timnath and came to the vineyards of Timnath. And behold, a young lion roared against him. And the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and he rent him as he would have rent a kid. And he had nothing in his hand, but he told not his father or his mother what he had done. And he went down and talked with the woman, and she pleased Samson well. And after a time he returned to take her. And he turned aside to see the carcass of the lion, and behold, there was a swarm of bees and honey in the carcass of the lion. And he took thereof in his hands, and went on eating, and came to his father and mother. And he gave them, and they did eat. But he told not them that he had taken the honey out of the carcass of the lion. Sounds disgusting. So his father went down unto the woman, and Samson made there a feast, for so used the young men to do. And it came to pass, when they saw him, that they brought 30 companions to be with him. And Samson said unto them, I will now put forth a riddle unto you. If ye can certainly declare it me within the 7 days of the feast, and find it out, then I will give you 30 sheets and 30 changes of garments. But if ye cannot declare it me, then shall ye give me 30 sheets and 30 change of garments. And they said unto him, Put forth thy riddle, that we may hear it. And he said unto them, Out of the eater came forth meat, and out of the strong came forth sweetness. And they could not in 3 days expound the riddle. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they said unto Samson's wife, Entice thy husband, that he may declare unto us the riddle, lest we burn thee and thy father's house with fire. Have ye called us to take that we have? Is it not so? And Samson's wife wept before him and said, Thou dost but hate me, and lovest me not. Thou hast put forth a riddle unto the children of my people, and hast not told it me. And he said unto her, Behold, I have not told it my father nor my mother, and shall I tell it thee? And she wept before him the 7 days, while their feast lasted. And it came to pass on the 7th day that he told her, because she lay sore upon him. And she told the riddle to the children of her people. And the man of the city said unto him on the 7th day, before the sun went down, What is sweeter than honey, and what is stronger than a lion? And he said unto them, If ye had not plowed with my heifer, ye had not found out my riddle. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he went down to Ashkelon, and slew 30 of them, and took their spoil, and gave change of garments unto them which expounded the riddle. And his anger was kindled, and he went up to his father's house. But Samson's wife was given to his companion, whom he had used as his friend. Oof. That is harsh, right? Because she broke the covenant between husband and wife, right? Or at least you would think that that's what would happen. At the time of the wedding, the bride's people put on a wedding feast for the couple, and can be confusing to understand, but Josephus gives us a clearer understanding. And this also shows us that the self-serving wickedness that existed among the Philistines. Now the people of Timnath, out of the dread of the young man's strength, gave him, during the time of the wedding feast, 30 of the most stout of their youth, in pretense to be his companions, but in reality to be a guard upon him, that he might not attempt to give them any disturbance. Now as they were drinking merrily and playing, Samson said it was unusual at such times. Come, if I purpose you a riddle, and you can expound it in these 7 days, I will give everyone a linen shirt and a garment as the reward for your wisdom. So they, being very ambitious to obtain the glory of wisdom together with the gains, desired him to propose his riddle. He said, that a great devourer produced sweet fruit. You know the scripture. And when they were not able to in 3 days' time find out the meaning of the riddle, they desired the damsel to discover it by the means of her husband and tell it them, and they threatened to burn her if she did not tell it them. So that is kind of sad that they threatened her to do that. And it's like messed up also, right? Also, but like, why would she be fearing them? But I guess she did say didn't they say her family too? Anyway, then on the 7th day, whereon they were to expound the riddle, proposed to them, they met together before sunsetting, and said, nothing is more disagreeable than a lion to those that light on it, and nothing is sweeter than honey to those that make use of it. To which Samson made this rejoinder. Nothing is more deceitful than a woman, for such was the person that discovered my interpretation to you. Accordingly, he gave them the presents he had promised them, making such Ascalonites as met him upon the road his prey, who were themselves Philistines also. But he divorced this his wife, and the girl despised his anger, and was married to his companion, who made the former match between them. So shirts of fine linen were only worn by the wealthy, and Samson thought that this riddle would stump the young men, and therefore Samson would then receive a wardrobe. However, the young men desired these for themselves, even to the point of threatening death upon the bride's family. Oh yeah, see, the family. Samson's wife was immediately forced to choose her husband or her own family, and she chose her family. And so now Samson came into possession of the clothing he gave to the young men. The phrase, and the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, suggests that Samson fought these Philistines for another reason, and was then able to take their fine clothing. Pretty wild. And yeah, he can't trust her, so he has to. It's like trust is one of those things that you cannot break, you know? Okay, that is it for chapter 14 of Judges. And we will read Judges chapter 15 next. So until then, stay strong, warrior.